Hi, I'm Caroline.
And I'm Ashley.
And you're listening to the Behind the Curtains podcast.
A Camp Caroline special.
Hello, welcome to episode 1.
Oh my goodness.
We are so excited to be hosting this podcast with you guys. And this is our first episode.
Yeah.
How are you feeling, Ashley?
I'm feeling great. I've never done anything like this before. It'll be great to take, what we made into a camp and, translate it into something else. I'm excited to talk about everything.
Right. So the whole point of the Behind the Curtain podcast is to just kind of showcase what we did with Camp Caroline and all of the behind the scenes, everything that went into it, because there's a lot of stories and a lot of things to tell you all.
Most definitely. So in today's episode, The Birth of Camp Caroline, we're just going to kind of talk about how it all came to be and how it lasted for so long and became such a big part of our lives.
Right. And so what you're probably wondering is, what is Camp Caroline if you're just listening to this? And so Camp Caroline is a theater acting summer camp that me and Ashley ran for about 6 years. And it grew as, at first a dream, and it grew into a business and a really big thing that took a huge boom in our community. And we put a show on within a week with a bunch of kids, and it was a really awesome summer camp, but it wasn't just glorified babysitting. It was the real deal. All the things had to happen with it.
Yep.
And it was a full year-round job for us.
Yeah, we worked on it as soon as camp was over. We
were planning the next year. That's right.
So, do you want to talk about how you came up with this idea?
I would love to talk about how this became even a thing. So, when me and my sister were little, we had the Razor scooters, which was the thing.
Yes.
The thing. We were super cool in our neighborhood with our Razor scooters, and we were always super creative, and I've always been super into theater. And we would host these scooter rallies on our driveway where we would choreograph these dances, and we would make a play with our scooters. And there would be songs, and we would have the neighborhood neighbors line up the driveway, and it was a huge deal. And we would have flyers and all the things. And this was probably between the ages of 8 to 10 years old I was doing this. Yeah. And my mom at one of these scooter rallies, because I organized this with all of the neighborhood kids, and we would have, almost seasonal scooter rallies is what we called them. And my mom came up to me at one of these at the end, and she was like, "Caroline, you are such a good leader, and you should just run your own camp if you're so into this." Yeah. And she was completely joking. Said it with it was almost a snarky comment of you should just run your own camp, and I did not take it as that. I took it as, oh, I'm going to run my own camp now. Thanks for the idea, Mom. So that was where the idea sparked from. Yeah.
And I heard about Camp Caroline on, the playground, or, at recess.
Some recess playground.
5th grade. And I was like, okay, Caroline, whatever.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm going to do a summer camp, and I'm going to direct my own show and have all these kids do it. And I was like, okay, sure, live your best life. But I wasn't really convinced, I'll be honest.
Yeah, and the next morning, I remember vigorously pulling out my mom's computer and opening a Google Doc, and I titled it Script. And that was the beginning.
There it all started.
And so I knew that I wanted to write my own show and my own script. But pretty quickly into that, I realized that, maybe coming up with a whole brand new play idea was not going to be to my benefit.
Yeah.
And
a lot of work.
lot of work. So, you want to talk about how Winnie the Pooh? Winnie the Pooh was our very first show.
That was the first show, and I remember we were on, a little mother-daughter date at Board and Brush.
Yes.
And we were making, the Easter bunnies, and I had just done, 2 years ago, one of my very first shows I did when I was little was Winnie the Pooh. Mm-hmm. And I was like, Caroline, you should just do Winnie the Pooh, because the characters, you could create, whatever story you wanted with those characters.
Want to come.
Everyone would have so much fun, so that's exactly what you did.
Yeah, so our very first Camp Caroline show was Winnie the Pooh, and what I did was I created a whole new storyline, using the famous Winnie the Pooh, Eeyore, Piglet, Tigger, all the characters, and I used their same personality traits to create a whole new plot, and I wrote new original songs for it, but here was the gist. It was that I wrote 8 characters into the show.
Yes.
and there was only 7 campers
Seven
that
campers.
signed up for the camp. And every character was an essential character, and everybody had to have a role. So, of course, my first year, I was on stage playing the main role.
Oh, best believe. Best believe.
Of course, I played the villain in the story. It was Rabbit. And,
You did a
you
great
know,
job.
I
Fantastic
jump,
job.
I throw myself into these things, you know?
Yeah, it's really great just, like, how much this camp has evolved over the past years. You know, it started, like, in the basement of your clubhouse, only, 6, 7 campers?
Yeah.
And we got, like, up to 20 kids, and it became just a huge part of the community, and we had about, like, maybe even over 100, like, parents.
Definitely.
And family
Between
members.
100 and 200 audience members each year
Yeah.
consecutively.
Yeah, it was awesome.
People got so excited to come and see the Camp Caroline show, not only to, you know, support me and support their kids, but just to almost support the community, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even I have a huge fan. My whole family would come. I wasn't on the stage, but I would just be running music, but my whole family, my grandparents, just love to see, like, all the hard work that these kids put in and all the hard work of all our camp counselors. It was just really a great experience.
It took a whole team and a whole crew to put it together.
And that's something that also evolved, because in the beginning, I mean, it was just you with this crazy idea, and I was like, oh, I don't know. And then we got all of our friends involved. We got our best friend Killian.
Yeah, we hired a whole group
Yep.
of staff.
All of our
The
friends
staff
who
evolved
did-
every year.
Yep. All our friends we did theater with, they were all just so great and so willing to participate and give their time to this. It was really awesome.
And each year it was so fun. We almost came up with new ideas and new different things we had each year. One year, you know, we made it a special treat to all the staff every year to have staff shirts. And one year when we did Inside Out, all of the staff shirts were themed, and we all had different emotion colored shirts, and there was different things. One year we had headsets so we could look super cool and connect. I think they were Bluetooth headsets.
Yeah,
right?
it was really cool.
And we were we all sat on like a Bluetooth call, and we had the headsets backstage, and we all felt so cool.
Yeah, just every year.
I don't know how well the headsets actually work.
Yeah, I don't even know if we ended up using them, but they looked pretty cool.
I remember that it was the look that mattered.
It was,
in that.
yeah. And every year we just
like
came up with more things we could do, more things to add on to this idea, and it just really evolved, and it was awesome.
It bloomed into this awesome big business that we're so excited to share more about you with.
We have so much more coming with this podcast. We are so excited to share with you guys. We're going to talk about topics like creating the shows and what that looked like, as well as talk about some of our staff members and camp members who stuck with us all throughout these years. So, stay tuned.
And we're even going to have some special guests.
Oh, yes.
It'll be very exciting. So you guys have a lot to look forward to and a lot of different things to hear about. All of the year-long's worth of work that went into Camp Caroline. And we're so excited to share it with you.
Yeah, so stay tuned for next Tuesday.
Yep, we'll see you next week. Bye. Guys.